you had just left last night when I identified that one of my heat set inserts in my motor plate was crooked, and Josh was like, "You can't fix that." And I went, "I think I can," and so I did.
Yeah, you should be able to fix it depending on what the issue is.
It was crooked. It wasn't flat.
Yeah, I mean, just reheating it and straightening it out should do the trick.
Well, what I did is I had a washer, an aluminum spacer, and an M4 screw. And so I heated it up, threw down the washer, threw down the spacer, put the screw in, and cranked the screw up until it was tight, and it pulled it up flat against the washer. And then I wiggled it until it was vertical and flat, until the washer was flat against the plastic.
Nice.
And I let it cool down, took it apart, and bingo. Perfect.
Very nice.
Yeah. The other thing is, I don't think he's got, and I was looking for him, but I don't think he actually made. I don't think he made the motor plates, the 3D printed motor plates. But I don't know that the aluminum corner braces need cover top plates. I don't know that they do.
You don't know that the aluminum corner brackets need what?
The aluminum motor plates. I don't think they use a top plate on the pulleys. Or maybe they do.
Should.
Okay.
Yeah, H2B ran a test without the plates and it did not go well.
Got it.
They're
I think plates are important anyway.
Yeah, they're very important.
So that's not going to work. I guess I'll try to.
Sometime. I know I keep saying this, but at some point I really need to figure out how to statically assign IPs.
Statically assign IPs to what?
I don't even have the printer on. Brilliant.
It works better if you do.
Indeed.
That was a joke. Site cannot be reached. So some of the other groups that I participate in, they were trying to figure out. It's like, do we need to use, Skype? Are we using Skype or what? And now we've got a Skype and a Slack and a Zoom. And I'm looking at it going, you want to throw in there?
Why don't you just use Discord?
So we have a Skype, or not a Skype. We already have a Skype set up, but we've got a Discord channel now, or Discord server now, and we have a Slack workspace, and we have a Zoom account. This is a nonprofit, or not a nonprofit, but a small organization that I belong to that I'm on the board of directors for. So I'm like, what's it going to cost us, and what is it going to do for us as far as like, our ability to collaborate on projects.
I think should pick a platform, to be honest, because the more platforms you add, the less people are going to be in the same place at the same time.
Well, the thing is, we've got people who work in different industries at this point, and some of them are working in, some of them are working in industries that they're on Slack all the time because that's what they use for their workflows. So we got a couple of people who basically live in Slack, right?
Well, I don't know. I would personally push for solidifying on a platform, but that's just me.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying at this point.
Even if it's not your favorite platform,
And that's kind of what we were doing. So right now we're going to probably spend a couple of weeks working in all of them to see what people are most comfortable with and what they have most access to. Because right now we're trying to sort out our access requirements. So I was trying to take a picture of my motor plates.
I'm trying to figure out what I did with the connectors for my ribbon cables.
I was teasing my sister because that's what you do, right?
Sure.
It was her birthday this week, and I called her 4 times, and she never picked up.
Ah.
So, one of those things. So mostly I was just giving her a hard time.
Yeah, the other day I was trying to talk to one of my coworkers who hasn't been well, and I asked him, so I said, how are you doing? No response or whatever, so I'm like, on a scale of like 0 being you're dead and 10 being you're perfect, or something along those lines, still no response. Then I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to go with 0 then.
Yeah.
And then when he finally got on and saw the message, he cracked up.
How's that?
How's Zach? Is that what you said?
Oh, no. How was that?
Oh, you put the pictures up?
Yeah. They're not great, but they're up.
Well, they look pretty good to me.
These are the E3D motors.
Gotcha.
So they've got socketed cables.
Yeah. I should have taken your advice on that. But at the time, I was trying to be like, well, I'm going to try to stay with what all the community's doing so that,
I've got like 15 steppers sitting out there. So these were on sale for about $12 a piece.
I have 6 stepper motors with integrated lead screws sitting in my closet right now because, yeah.
You know what? I got an idea. Let's just from a shits and giggles kind of standpoint, you could use those integrated lead screws for so we could do something along the lines of building essentially a fully restrained driven axes, so you could build your little router, little machine thing.
Interesting. So you're saying use the integrated lead screws for all the axes?
Yeah. I mean, you could essentially do if you did a sliding cross table kind of thing, and because you don't need high speed movement, you need precise movement. So these are 0.9, right?
Should be. They're the E3D ones. I don't remember 100% what they are, but
yeah.
Interesting thought. It would make a whole bunch of stepper motors that are essentially useless to me useful.
Useful, yeah. Because that way you could, I mean, you'd have a lot of Z travel, but you don't need to use the whole, I mean, you could even cut the lead screw, but I wouldn't necessarily want to do that. But you could essentially build, build a lathe, or not a lathe, but build a mill.
Feel like, yeah, it's definitely an interesting idea, one worth exploring.
Oh, Daniel's posting stuff.
Oh, what is that crazy guy up to now?
He's just talking about some of the electrical safety stuff that I've posted previously, and about standardizing wiring colors and things like that. Which is why I've got many spools of wires in various colors, because I want the colors to match what I need them to do. So AC circuits, in my AC circuit, I'm using white, black, and green, or white, red, black, and green. And then your black and red are your hots, your whites, neutral, green's ground. In my DC circuits, I'm using red and black, although I almost wish we didn't have red black as defined as positive and negative, or positive and ground. We don't really have we're basically running 24 volts on pretty much everything, right?
Right.
And
black and red's a pretty standard color scheme.
It is, but do we have any 5-volt circuits? Do we have any 12-volt circuits? Are we just running 24-volt circuits?
I am.
Yeah.
Aside from the AC stuff, but.
So, and that's the thing, is like, I think there are color codes out there for 12-volt DC, 24-volt DC, or maybe if we had a wiring chart. That's part of the wiring stuff.
I think at work we use all blue.
Yeah.
I think we got blue and blue with a white stripe for the positive and negative DC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Is there are standards like that.
I think it's pretty common. I would go to work and look up exactly what our color schemes are, but
I just threw an @Daniel. See if you wanted to join us in the voice chat.
Sounds good.
I don't know. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
I don't know, that one dude was throwing out some really bizarre colors I saw earlier, like.
I think he was just, sunk cost is kind of trollish. Sometimes it feels like, but I could be wrong.
No, I get the same feeling. But I don't know how serious he was, because sometimes he's trollish, but he's not necessarily trolling. Where did the little clip go I just had? There you are.
All right, what was I gonna do? I wish I could do like a quarter screen YouTube, without all the stuff.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's like full screen. Well, I don't want full screen. I want like oh look, it's full screen. I don't want full screen. I want because I've got a 28-inch screen. It's a bit much. But I'd like to be able to like hide the chat, not have the chat, right?
Yeah. Nothing's happening quite really. I'm just fixing up this ribbon cable, and then I'll start doing something.
Oh no, you're working on stuff. I'm working on stuff. I'm actually working on. I was doing a little bit of research while I was waiting for something else to finish. I've got so I didn't solder it in, but I was pretty much working on my motor mounts. Pretty much finished up on those. I want to get the right size screw in there for the switch. The instructions, unfortunately, don't line up.
You're not big into Fusion 360, right?
What's that?
Said you're not all that big into Fusion 360, right?
I'm not that good at it. I'm learning, but I'm not that good at it. There are other things that I'm better at.
Well, the only reason I ask is because I watched a video. Like, I've been using Fusion 360 for several years now. And there's like this video I watched, and like you did stuff that some of it I was kind of aware of, and some of it just blew my mind. I'm like, that's been there all this time, and I didn't know about it.
Yeah. So what kind of things were you thinking, or did you see?
Just lots of little nifty tricks and how to do things with quicker and more efficiently.
Yeah.
Things that are just like things that I've done exactly this type of thing before. And essentially it's like how you create sketches and holes and all these different things. Like I'm always like drawing all the holes out in the sketches and then extruding them and drawing the countersunk, but there's a hole command that has countersinks and all the stuff that I've been doing the hard way,
Oh, really? Okay. I use Hole Wizard. I mean, I do a lot of stuff in SolidWorks, right? And I never draw a hole that it can be done with can be done as a boring operation or a cutting or a screw operation or drilling operation. I mean, because I want to be able to pick a screw size that I'm going to use and do the proper operation for it. So I'll do something like if I know I want someplace with a screw, I'll put a point in my sketch, or I'll put a reference line or something in my sketch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll set up the hole operations once I've got the extrusions in place, because I can pick exactly what kind of fastener I'm going to use. And when I pick the fastener that I'm going to use, I can also set things like my clearances, my tolerances for the screw. So if I want a close fit, a normal fit, or a loose fit for screw clearances, I can put that in there. If it's going to be a tapping operation, right? If something's going to be threaded into it, I pick a drill tap, and so for an M3 screw, an M3x5, there's a particular tap size that you use for that. But you don't have to define the tap size. You just define that I'm doing an M3.5 screw, right? M3 by however long you need, but the length is all determined by what you're fastening, right? Or what you're fastening to. But as far as like my screw depth and things like that, you know, I say I need a tap hole, and the tap hole goes in and it defines whatever size I need, and then you can do custom adjustments based on that. But if I'm doing countersinks or counterbores, I can do countersinks and counterbores, and if I need to bury the head deeper, I can do that. If I need a minimum or a particular length of fit, where the head of the screw has X amount of millimeters or X amount of depth between the where the screw is and the far side, I can define that, and that takes care of the however deep the counterbore needs to be. But I can also, once I've done that, I can lay out my screw holes, and then if I want to do a screw pattern, I just create a pattern from the screws or from the holes. And then the screw pattern gets laid out with all the appropriate size screws and in the right places. But if I need to adjust the number of screws or whatever like that, I'm adjusting the number, the pattern, and it makes it easy to clean that up.
No, I do a lot of patterns and things, but what I was kind of getting at, it was just like one thing I've like never actually used. I always do it in the sketches. You know what I mean? Like I always draw it out in the sketches and pattern the sketches, but I've never really thought about trying to do it the screws with the hole tool. Like I kind of knew it existed, you know, but I never really paid much attention to it for whatever reason. Okay. But that was just one example of some of the cool little stuff that I kind of learned watching this video with Fusion. And my point that I was originally getting to is, if you were interested, could send you a link to it.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm always willing to learn new stuff. I am trying to learn. I'm finding some of it. Some of it is counterintuitive. Some of their design, their interface choices are kind of weird. Does that make sense?
I suppose. I mean, the only other tool that I've ever really used that wasn't Fusion was like SketchUp and stuff. And as far as ease of use and things, I find Fusion to be an order of magnitude easier to design in.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never really used other CAD software, so you coming from SolidWorks might actually be more difficult for you to get used to it than for me, who never really came from a real CAD software before or have any formal training. So it's hard for me to say from my perspective, but I know, like, I tried to get one of the guys at work to collaborate on a project with me, and he's, does everything in SolidWorks, because that's what his schooling was, that's what we use at work and all that kind of stuff. So of course that's what he wants to use, is SolidWorks. And but of course for me, I can't use SolidWorks, or at least I couldn't at the time.
Okay.
So we never actually ended up collaborating because we couldn't, work on a software together. But it's like he went to use Fusion. I guess my point is he went to use Fusion and it was too different or whatever for him, so he just didn't didn't want to bother. So I understand where you're coming from, I guess, is what I was getting at there. Like someone who's a SolidWorks user and has access to SolidWorks has little to no interest in Fusion makes sense to me.
Yeah, sorry.
What are you sorry for?
It's one of those things. It's just kind of,
Yeah, it's just the nature of the world. Like, you spend so much of your life learning something, and somebody else comes in with a different thing. It's like you don't really have all that much of incentive to want to learn it, especially if the stuff you do already is already so capable.
yeah. And it's what you're used to, kind of thing, right?
Right. So,
All right. Um,
I want to redesign this mount where the cables come into, because it's rounded in the bottom. But I want to
which,
make it so it has a slot so the big zip tie can slide into it.
okay.
So that was one of the things I was considering about doing in the live stream in a bit, is
Okay.
redesigning, re-engineering that bracket.
I am looking at some accelerometers.
Yeah, I saw something about accelerometers in the chat earlier. I thought that was a joke.
No, actually, it isn't. I'm one of the things I'm thinking, because we've been talking about this off and on now for a couple of months now. Actually, is the vibration and whatnot in the machine, and some of the folks are already starting to see some resonance. And I think an accelerometer, and I've got some accelerometers around here. I just don't know which ones I got. I got to find them. But the idea is that being able to, looking for shock and impact or vibrational analysis, and these triple axis accelerometers we could actually mount it directly onto the machine, and we'd be able to capture the vibrational analysis on it. And then do things like what happens when we add, because we've got folks who are actually talking about adding marble or granite side panels to the machine.
Yeah, I saw that, but
I don't know if that's a April Fool's thing or whatnot, but adding mass to the frame is really important for.
just buy a couple of bricks and put it in the bottom.
Well, it's not just that. It's, when you go to things like, if you're working on 4040, you fill the if you're using 4040 extrusions, you pack them full of you fill them full of sand or lead shot, because what you do is get the vibrational frequency, the resonance frequency, either down or adjust it to where the amount of mass of the frame and the stiffness of the frame is so much greater by an order of magnitude, at least, than the amount of inertia or the movement of the carriage, right? So if the frame has got a significant, amount of mass stiffness as compared to the motion of the carriage, it's not going to impart any vibration to the machine.
Side note,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that it might be nice to add a hole in the Hermera
You want
tool
to slot
plate.
something?
Huh?
You want to slot at the top?
No, what I was getting at is putting a hole so you could drill out the head of the zip tie and then screw the zip tie right into the head of the zip tie into the tool plate. And then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There are ways of adding that kind of thing to it. Pretty careful.
All right. Hopefully, I didn't screw anything up there.
That looks really neat as far as your design there.
Here, I'll snap a picture here.
I was trying to think. I kind of feel like I need to print something, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what I need to print. So there's my carriage. Wait. Oh, that looks really nice.
You can see I added an extra zip tie there to kind of hold the zip tie head from moving around. I was thinking if I put like a nice bolt right through the head of the zip tie, since it's so big, it would keep it kind of in place, and then the two zip ties up above would stabilize it a little bit.
Okay. So for the next Tamara, for the next one.
Yeah.
So I've managed to, I made a bunch of different parts. And so I have extras of a bunch, I have extras of manufacturing. I was doing testing and things like that. So I ended up making like 6 or 7 different 6 or 7 sets of certain things. And we're not even talking necessarily like tool posts and such, right? I don't know why that's in there. Need to bounce that off your head.
I get the sense that you're looking for something.
I ended up dropping something into a box that I didn't mean to, and so it's literally a box of parts. And
Gotcha.
it's a box of parts, useful parts. But I need to check and see, because I've got multiple fans in here, and cooler mounts. I have an extra Z part under it. So it's one of those, before I get to it, I have to make sure I have it out so I can look at both of them and see what I need to use.
So I was looking at the tool post file, and there's a whole purge sequence that's commented out.
I'm sorry, there's a what?
There's a purge sequence that's commented out of the tool change code, yeah.
Ah.
So I'm going to uncomment that out and see how that goes.
Okay. All right.
Oh, where did you send me that one little cup for the spring?
I did. I dropped I don't know if I sent it to you directly or if I put it in the
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is where you had sent that to. I don't remember.
If we do a quick search in there for Spring Cup,
Spring
just
Cup.
search the. Or maybe not. Where did
Hold
I
on.
put it? I think I put it in the live stream chat. Is that where you posted the? Where did you post your springs?
Oh,
Because I responded to that.
I think I did that in custom tools.
Okay.
Or not. No, here it is. Aha, found it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tired of printing clips. I want to print something else. So
Okay.
Spring Cup sounds like a good test.
All right. Oh, is there a new part for the? Oh, doggone it. You know what? I need to just go ahead and open the model, open the current design, and look at it.
No, I find it weird that you can't right-click on the models in the in Slicer. Like, it'd be nice if you could right-click and delete, or right-click and hit update, and if like you updated the file, it would update the CAD, like re-import it.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Feature request, maybe.
Well, Josh has changed the way the.
Oh, you even oriented it. Good.
Did I?
Well, it's oriented correctly. Whether or not you did it on purpose, I have no idea.
Oh yeah, of course I did it on purpose. I'll take credit for that. I kind of want to get it. I kind of want to either upgrade or replace my desktop computer, and I actually have one that should do it. It's not where it's easily accessible.
I have too many computers.
Ah, ah. Okay.
Well, I have my main desktop computer, which is substantial. Then I have a pretty nice laptop that I ordered back in November.
Yeah.
And then I just picked up a Surface tablet for like 200 and something.
Yeah.
Or I mean a Surface Pro, rather.
And I'm not going to count my work computers. Okay.
Oh, I have two work computers in my house as well. And I have
Yeah.
two laptops that are dead in my closet.
Oh man. Let's see.
And I'm not counting my wife's computer either.
I have my nice MacBook Pro that I got last year, but and I really ought to bring it out and plug it up out here and use it because it's got the i9 in it and a 32 gig of RAM, and a terabyte flash drive.
On a side note, I kind of want to make one of those gimbal cables that I forget who it was that posted it, but
Mena's Mount.
yeah,
No, it's not H2B. It's
no,
Nayad? Narand?
yeah, something with an N.
So yeah, that Gimbal Mount looks. I mean, that is a good looking machine.
Yeah, I
What
think
the
it'd be,
Gimbal Mount is actually doing for you.
well, here, let me snap a picture of what I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
Discord.
thought it was going to change.
So.
Oh, that.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, like when it's up here, it'd be nice if this thing could tip back to relieve that bend a little bit. I mean, it's still gentle, but it would be nice.
If it does tip back, how much of it is it actually going to relieve?
I think quite a bit.
Well, I meant compared to what's below it, right? I think it's in our yeah.
True, if it's gimbaled, it's just moving the bend somewhere else, I guess. But
yeah, it'd be moving the bend down farther away from the zip tie, which is going to limit. The zip tie is going to limit your amount of bend that you can have. So was he going to take the zip file out? I thought he was going to do that.
Well, that's weird. Huh. Not sure what that was about. Hey, it purged. Good.
Oh, did it do the purge?
Yeah. I wasn't paying attention, so I was going to pull it off. I think that must have been what it was waiting for. It was waiting for the purge.
Where did it purge?
In the dock.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I was confused for a minute. I'm like, why isn't this thing going and grabbing it? Yeah, I really need to. Huh?
Good question.
Yeah, I need to actually do something about the wiper situation.
You want to work on your wiper tonight while that's doing its thing?
Basically, I just need to make a spacer. Next time it goes to the dock, I'll measure.
Did you say spacer?
I did.
But how did you say spacer?
Well, see, I say spacer, and then you have to say...
Spacers!
There you go.
Did you see his new video today?
Yeah, I did.
I'm making a skateboard tank. It's like, you, sir, are insane.
These aren't nuts. They're spacers.
And this spacer is exactly 30 millimeters long. I'm like, all right then. Okay, so I don't know what I did. Maybe it's still trying to open it. Maybe I've got too many things running. I would not be at all surprised if I have too many things running. All right, so I have my locking plate. I have carriage parts. I have a twist block. I have 3 of these, and I don't know which one I got that's the best one. All 3 of them have been polished. All 3 of them very well. So I have multiple. I somehow I ended up with 2 complete sets of carriages.
2 complete sets of carriages?
I printed 2 sets, and I don't know why I've got 2 sets.
Carriages, like you're talking about the part that goes on the axis?
Clamps, yeah, the clamps to the crossbar. And I have 2 lock plates as well.
Does one set have serial numbers?
None of the sets have serial numbers.
Oh.
Do I need to print new ones?
I don't know.
I hope not. I also don't have one. I don't know if they've got one. I think we've got an STL already of the one with that's got the. Oh bother. Oh bother. I actually have 4 of the plates in the back because I was trying. Some of them have serial numbers, some of them don't. I have 1 with serial. See, I have CPL01. And I couldn't tell you if CP, and I have two of them. I printed one at 0.2, and I printed one at 0.12. And I like the one that printed at 0.12 a little better. I don't like either of them, but I'm gonna end up sanding the back until it's super smooth.
Where are you sanding what now?
So on the lock plate, CPL, the that goes in the back of the carriage lock plate.
You don't really need that to be smooth. You're talking about where, like the side with the twist lock, or the side with the wires?
The side with the wire.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't need to. I mean, that doesn't really need to be smooth because they don't actually touch. There's a what is it, that bevel spring that goes in the back there, and I know he's adjusting it to add another spacer on it. So probably yeah.
I was gonna say the cup does fit the spring nicely, but I'd actually like it to grab a hold of the spring a little bit, I think.
Okay.
The reason for that is there's nothing keeping the spring from flying out of there while it's printing. So.
Okay.
So I had two ideas. One would be, I'm also loose on the shaft. So what I'm thinking.
That? Oh, the spring cup?
Yeah, I'm looking at the spring cup. So I have a peg here, and it looks like you made a clearance hole instead of a hole that would grip a hold of the shaft.
I did want it because I wanted it to slide up and down the shaft.
All right, so this might be good for like a front cup if it grabbed a hold of the spring, but I actually want to make it so that it could grab a hold of the shaft and the spring and keep it from flying away.
Oh, so you want a rear cup?
Yeah. This was supposed to be a front cup?
That was supposed to be a front cup.
Okay. So it does need to hold the spring a bit tighter, but other than that, it works great for a front cup.
Okay, it was designed as a front cup, and I may have given it a little too much clearance. What I was thinking you would do is put the spring in it and put in a drop of super glue.
I don't know that I feel comfortable relying on super glue.
Okay, or a dab of hot glue.
I think after a sufficient number of springs, a glue would break.
Okay, give me a sec. And I will, how much tighter does it need to be?
I don't know. Let me see.
Okay.
Where's my calipers?
And I may have given it some intentional clearance.
Yeah, so it looks like we're at about 9 3/4 of a millimeter, which I don't know what you designed for, but that's what I'm at. I'm guessing you probably did 10 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then the spring is 9.5. What?
And I said, give me a second, and I will have you as soon as I can get SolidWorks to actually open. I might have to kill some applications. But Zoom.
I could, one of the things I was thinking about for the shaft part, or the keeping it from going around, instead of I could bend the. Huh?
What's the inside diameter on the spring?
Inside diameter? Looks like a 7.6.
Okay.
All right. So what do I want to do in the meantime? Oh, I know. While you're doing that, I can start doing something about... Oh, I know. I need to start looking at the wiper.
The wiper! Sorry.
Wonder what Ivan's like in real life, if he's as excited in real life as the energy he puts into his videos, or that's just a persona.
You know what? I hope he is. I hope he's as exciting. He's a real person like that, but you know.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm sure he's not always that excited, but like I feel like that's kind of his personality.
Well, if he was always that excited, he probably drives the people around him crazy,
Indeed.
which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but there you go. So I'm watching this print, and I have been watching it pretty closely because I've had my Y driver shut down twice in the last two prints on this, or twice before while I was, three times now, as I was printing this particular model. So I'm not really sure why, but there you go. All right, so you said the inside diameter of the spring is 7.6,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And the outside diameter of the spring is?
So it's 9.5. Or no, it's 9.4, I think. Hold on, let me look. Yeah, it looks like I'm sitting around 9.45.
Okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, I had it set at 9.53.
Wait, you had the inside diameter set to 9.53?
I had the outside diameter set to 9.53 because that's what's in the line from McMaster Carp. Which impacts my impacts the diameter that I had to work with. And you said the inside diameter of the spring is 7.6?
I think so. Yeah.
So the inside is 7.6 and the outside is 9.45?
Yes.
Okay, I can fix that. Give me a sec. I'll have you a new spring cup here in just a minute.
I Ah. Interesting. Random question. Do you ever watch Davey 504?
I'm sorry, who?
Davey 504?
No. Who is that?
It's a random guy who, honestly, I don't even know why I find him so entertaining, but he plays bass, guitar, and he basically his entire thing is like talking about how basically bass is the best. Everything is bass related, and he's just kind of funny. I don't know, it's hard to explain exactly, but
Oh, no, I get it. Believe me, I get it. Is the spring cup long enough?
yeah, I wouldn't make it any longer at all, for sure.
Oh, I was actually going to make it shorter if I could get away with it. So.
Oh yeah, you could make it shorter. Yeah, just not longer.
Ah, got it. All
Because
right.
especially if we go with shorter springs. Oh yeah, it's just gonna push everything out more. I might end up cutting the spring if I need to. Yeah, for the next tool, I've been kind of going back and forth about what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's like, do I want to just print uh, an identical tool, maybe with the addition of the extra bolt like I was talking about for the zip tie, or do I want to try to design something for the that big fan that I got sitting around waiting to be used?
Okay. Good call. That could be a thing.
And if I do design something for the big fan, do I design it do I design it so that I can words use it as a tool changer or on the tool changer, or do I design it just to run the one tool for the time being, just to see what kind of performance I can get out of it?
Oh, that's a good call.
So part of me has been thinking about making a Bowden tool, actually,
Yeah, you were saying that.
because I just think it'd be easier to get it hooked up to a Bowden tool for temporary purposes. Just because I won't have so much stuff that I have to work around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that also puts me in an interesting spot of if I do a Bowden tool, how do I hook it up?
Oh, good call. Yeah.
So I don't know yet. Definitely want to make a few Bowden style tools, just because I've got the parts laying around, so I might as well, you know.
Yeah.
I think it would be like, for example, I think I have like 2 or 3 spools of 3mm filament,
Oh, yeah. Put
and
a volcano, get a super volcano, 3mm super volcano. Think of how much filament you could dump, that you could move at that point.
yeah, I don't know exactly how the conversion goes from changing something from a 1.75 to a 3. I think the V6 ecosystem can just kind of change, right? Like there's something.
You should be able to. Do you want me to put the new spring cup in the custom tools?
Or live stream, either way.
Okay.
Let's see. Before I print anything, how big of a spacer do I need?
All right. Take a look at that. It's in the custom tools. I tightened up the inside diameter a little bit. The cup may not friction fit onto the spring, but it's going to be a lot closer. Because I left like a tenth of a millimeter or something like that.
Well, let's see what happens.
You gonna print it real quick?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It won't take very long to print.
No, not at all.
I have a bunch of heat set inserts to put in. I don't have anything to. I think those are my two best.
Interestingly enough, I do not have my tools reading 2000 right now.
I'm sorry, what?
My tools are not reading 2000 degrees.
Oh my! How did you manage that?
I don't know. Alright, so I am 14 millimeters away from the nozzle, and I know that I need to go out at least a little further than that. I wonder if that's going to get in the way of the bed. Alright. Anyway. So maybe there was something with the wiring, or the spring cup just printed so fast that whatever happens during a print didn't happen. I'm not sure.
Did I just get kicked off? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Nope.
No?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How's that?
I don't know, you tell me.
I can hear you now.
Well, then it must be excellent.
Okay. So I have 9 heat set inserts to install. They're all related to the tool line. Yeah, these are nice and smooth. And this is just with 220. I didn't go to 400 or 600.
What are you talking about? Sandpaper?
So my lockup mechanisms, the two pulleys come together,
Mm-hmm.
they are nearly perfect. Or let's put it this way: they are smooth to the touch.
Nice.
They're smooth enough that a single drop of water between them actually causes them to stick together.
Well, you had that video about that a while back, right?
Yep, that's the surface tension. So, I mean, that's almost too smooth, but there you go. But as far as a rubbing surface, yeah, that's a good rubbing surface. So they ended up lapping them together. It's like when you're trying to explain to somebody what it means when you're lapping a valve. You're polishing the valve seat and the seating surface with each other in some ultrafine rouge. But it's hard to do in an operating system because you can get some of that into the system. These are extra parts. Okay, so the sound effects really don't match up with what I'm seeing, which I find amusing. So these 3 parts are tossed back and forth as the extra part stuff. He was so mad at me that I wouldn't give him all my dinner chicken. He got a fresh can of food, which he ate some, and then he saw that I had food. Very upset I wouldn't give it to him.
I never give my cat food off my
Yeah.
plate just because it makes him want more.
And he's now sitting at my feet facing away from me.
Oops. I just brushed the belt.
Oh no.
I wonder if that's going to make a print defect.
We'll see. I mean, the whole thing doesn't take but 5 minutes or something to print.
I don't think it's even that long. I know it's not that long because the clips were taking like 3 minutes to print. And this is a fair bit faster than the clips.
They were talking about using ultra flexible, the Ultraflex Cat 6, Cat 5.
I think I do need something to support the zip tie up closer to where it all meets up, because it's kind of seems to be sagging a little bit more than it was when I took that original picture.
Yeah.
Like as the weight kind of bends the zip tie down, it trying to tighten up the screws and the little crossbar that holds the wipers. I never actually tightened that part of the frame up because I didn't know where it needed to go.
So yeah, he clamped essentially a plate, a heavy plate to the side of the machine.
Yeah, I'd seen a picture of it. Did it solve any problems?
I don't know if it does or not. But if you used a plate like that on both sides of the machine, it would probably add enough mass to stiffen the frame. But you'd have to be able to actually have the proper holes in it, which is doable with a rock drill. But there you go. Yeah. So what's this? Let me know what you think on this. Um, oh, bother.
Spring cup?
Yes. Anyway, I had 22 tabs open. Well, what do you know? Too tight?
No. I've got the seam is bulging out a little bit, so one corner's not going all the way down.
Screw it in.
I tried.
Oh, so what you said? Do you have the seams at random, or do you want to?
No, I have them. I gotta fix the seams. The seams are not good right now.
Do I need to make it bigger, or are you gonna trim it?
I just need to get the gunk out of it. But I think we're actually gonna need them to go tighter.
Okay.
But let me try to get this little chunk out of it so I can get it to seat better.
Okay. I shortened it up by a millimeter too.
Yeah, I think the base probably doesn't need to be as thick as it is. How thick do you have it right now?
I can send that up too. I think it's like 1.5 millimeters thick. Mostly I can cut it down to 1.
I'm sorry, how thick did you say? I kind of zoned out for a second when I was focusing on this.
1.5.
Yeah, definitely go 1, but leave the extra, make that half go to the depth.
Okay, that's fine.
And then, yeah, we do need to be a little bit tighter on the spring and
okay.
just a touch tighter on the shaft.
Okay. Fixing the.
I'm not sure if it's the ID or the OD where the spring needs to be tighter though.
I mean, I can make it on. I can make it on the ID.
Let's just, you can start with the OD. It's just really hard to see. I don't think it's actually touching the ID right now, but
I've got a tenth of a millimeter clear on the ID and a 1.15 millimeters on the OD.
I just bring them down a touch. I want to look at my slicer settings really quick.
Okay.
I want to try to get the boogers and the seams off a little bit.
Okay.
I'm still running with the default profile. I haven't really messed with it.
Okay. Adjusted. I will send it over. All right. Posted. ID is expanded. OD is tightened up. The bottom is shallower by half a millimeter, and you've got that, and that got moved into the
Perfect.
So give that a shot. Now the wall thicknesses are like they are because. The other thing we have is there is a draft on the extrusion. So I can take the draft out, but the draft there is a bit of a draft in there. So
a draft.
It'll be tighter at the idea is that it'll be tighter down all the way at the bottom of the spring, but then it's freer as you move up the spring. Also, I was thinking if we got a ground spring, where it's looped and then ground flat, it would work really well as well. Also.
In S3D, there's a setting that tells the nozzle to continue going down the path after it finishes. You know what I'm talking about? So like it finishes the layer, but it keeps going.
Yeah, it wipes out. Wipes out away from there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that parameter in S3D or Slicer. Does it have it?
I don't know Prusa Slicer. I'm sorry.
Me neither.
But you're looking for coasting or wipeout or retract or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking for.
For your pressure advance or your, toasting comes in. So it's basically, it stops extruding, and it lets the pressure in the nozzle finish up extruding that last little bit. But, excuse me. I kind of want to pop out to the workbench and put these heat sets in. Although I'm finding it, I'm not really sure what to use to get the flat when you're doing the heat set on the edge of the pulleys.
It's under filament settings, I think.
Okay.
What is this? You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm just gonna be able to space this out. I think I'm gonna have to make it go out farther. Because if I just space it straight out, I think it'll actually get in the way of the fan duct.
Really? Okay.
I think. Hold on, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe not.
Maybe. All right.
It would be close though. I think what I just need to do is I just need to tweak the whole apparatus that holds the filament, basically. Or, I mean, holds the rubber.
Okay.
I've got two challenges. One is the fan duct, and then the other one is the Z, because I would actually hit the Z stepper motor, or the that what do you call it? The piece that holds the ball or the nut for the ball screw.
Okay.
Whatever we call those things.
The Levi. Hey Siri, turn off the kitchen lights. You know what? I keep starting to do something and
I think I need to do some top layer tests, because I've been doing these really tiny prints, but it looks like they get like a little bit of bulging. I think maybe I need to look at dialing in the filament again.
oh, okay. If you're getting bulging, just try backing off your flow.
My flow?
Yeah, there's a float. There's a float setting. Just see if you can back those off a little bit.
I really am not entirely sure what you're talking about.
So, in the slicer settings, see if you can find a setting that says flow.
I don't. What slicer do you use?
Well, I'm using Cura, but there may be something in Prusa.
Because I don't remember seeing anything like that in S3D either.
Well, I mean, there's okay. Hold on. Flow rate. It might be under extruder multiplier calibration. Call it extruder multiplier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the multiplier I understand. I guess I could see how that could be called flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be something like that in here.
It is. It's under filament, extrusion multiplier. And if you go to help.prusa, there's an extrusion multiplier calibration. Let me find it for you. It's Prusa has something in it that's very similar to that.
God, it's already done printing. I was not paying attention. I wanted to see how I did some tweaks. It looks cleaner.
There we go. I just posted the article.
Alright, the seams do look a little better. I still see a little bit of bulging out on the seam, but not like it was.
All right.
Alright. There we go. Now I kind of need to press fit this thing onto the,
Oh, good. That was the intent.
Whoa.
And you shot it across through.
What's that?
I said, and you just shot it across through.
No, I was, grabbing the, what do you call this thing? The press. Arbor press. I was just,
Okay.
I was pressing the, basically this piece onto the, shaft here. It required.
Okay. It should fit. It should slide smoothly over the.
Yeah, once it's on there, I can move it by my hands. But
it moves easily. Okay.
Not easily, but I don't want it to move easily. I wanted it to be hard to move.
Okay.
I don't want it to go anywhere.
Cup?
What's that?
You're going to use this as the rear cup, right?
Yeah, isn't that's the intention, right?
Yeah. Well, what you could do is you make one for the rear cup that's tight, and then
Yeah.
you just remount the center a little bit so the front slides easily.
Yeah.
So you just remount the inside diameter a smidge, and then it grabs the other end of the spring, and so the back end holds on to the spring and keeps it from moving, and the front allows some movement.
So we're almost there.
Does it grab the cup or the spring?
Not as much as I want it to. It does, but not by a lot.
Okay. You want a little tighter?
Yeah.
Okay. One sec.
So why would I still be bulging out on the perimeter?
Hard to say.
I wonder which side is the start and which side is the stop. You know what I had to do? It sounds counterintuitive, but on my S3D profile for my big box, I actually gave it negative restart distance because I think I was solving the same problem where after a retract and coming back down, I think this might have something to do with pressure advance stuff.
Okay.
But I wonder if I can do a negative in the Prusa slicer, if it'll freak out.
Maybe.
Let's see what happens when I add a negative in there.
Give me a second, and you will have another copy.
It's going to be challenging getting it back off. There we go.
All right.
Man, the first layer looks fantastic. Except the seams. It's always messy on the seam.
The seams are, there's things you can do with that.
Also don't understand, for some reason, it's always like, almost looks burnt on the bottom.
Really?
Let me show you the picture. It's weird.
Lower your temperature and speed up your flow.
The temperature's really not, I'm actually running it colder than I'm supposed to be, according to the side of the spool.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I posted that picture, I think.
Okay. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm in the wrong chat window.
Did you post the update?
I did. I just sent it there.
All right, cool.
I don't know if I can make that big enough to actually see it. It looks like it is. I don't know. It's just different color, it seems like.
Yeah, it's weird. It does that every single print.
Huh.
Or almost every single print, at least.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Weird.
I take it back. It's not every... I see it frequently, but not to the extent necessarily as we see it in this particular picture.
Okay.
This is more extreme, but I've gone partially brain dead for a second. Upload.
So that's a little tighter still. Not around the shaft, but
right. I lost my print removal tool a couple days ago, and I haven't the foggiest idea what I did with it.
Well,
Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just the big printer. I slowed it down. I'm not printing as fast as I was before, and I have not seen another fault in. It is the Y stepper has not set, so or has not faulted out on me yet, which is good. That's the intent is that it does not do that.
You can see that first layer actually looks pretty clean.
Yeah. Everything I'm looking at Amazon right is 20 days out for delivery.
Yeah, like I think you were saying this the other day, though. It's not really. I mean, a lot of the stuff will end up shipping sooner.
Which is why I'm checking Tiny Machine and Illustrator.
But yeah, they say that they're not going to restart restocking non-essential, so that's probably why.
Yeah, and I don't know if Tiny Machines is going to have the things I'm looking for. I'm looking for stepper heat sink.
Stepper heatsink.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't find something, I mean, I've got a couple extra.
What I'm looking for is for the big machine here, my big printer.
Oh.
It's got a, yep, that's exactly what I was looking at. I mean, I can order some, ain't it? They, Amazon says they have them. They're not expensive, so getting a set or two is not a big deal. It's just April 24th is what they're telling me.
Right. I mean, if you need something sooner, is what I was getting at. Is I have a couple extra, depending on how many you need.
Yeah.
Wow, this cable's like really sagging now that it's been here for a little while.
Yeah. Just with the mass on that bed is pretty heavy.
Mass on the bed.
The mass of the big printer bed.
Oh, you're talking about on your big, or we're talking about heat sinks?
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
sorry, my brain was somewhere else for a minute.
Yeah, no, you're fine. So I was looking at actually grabbing some. I think the 40 millimeter fans actually fit on these things pretty well too.
Do I remember right that Luke said that he was breaking Hermera heat brakes?
Yeah, he's breaking Hermera heat brakes.
That's
I don't know how, but he's breaking Hermera heat brakes. Give me just a minute. I will be right back. I need to step away for a moment. Be right back.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
How did that last one fit?
Almost perfect. Think just a little bit further with the string tension. And then I'd be like, it fits in there and it might be good, but I feel like it might still potentially loosen up a little bit.
So you tighter still?
Yeah, just a smidge.
Okay.
I figured out part of the sagging thing is actually, I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah.
The clips for the filament don't go all the way down. Or the Bowden tube doesn't go all the way down because apparently I made it too short the other day. And that's interesting. Random set script. Don't know where that could have possibly come from.
Okay, it's up.
Thanks. Yeah, so I'm going to replace the Bowden tube quick before I get going again.
Oh wait, I still have key over here. Ha ha ha. So checking out Ziltech because they might have some. Nope. Was Ziltech going to be carrying the LVO rails?
No, it's Illustrator.
Illustrator? Okay.
And they already are carrying them.
Did you get rails from them?
Yeah, the Core XY is all LDO now. I continue to use the Chinese ones for the Z-axis.
Oh, okay.
I wanted as smooth a motion as I could get on the important part.
Sure.
And then the Z wasn't so bad, so.
I think I got the high torque motors, the E3D high torque motors, or the compact. I don't forget the high torque or the compact. Anyway.
Thought I remembered you saying something about having the extra strong motors at one point.
Yeah, I think I got the high torque ones. Yeah, they don't have any of the heat sinks. They don't have anything that's listed under generic heat sink. They do have the LDO steppers though. Which is nice.
Well, I think there's going to be an official release of new stepper motors for the Jubilee at some point.
Okay, that's cool. Zachary, what's wrong? Is the food not good? They just put a new can in there. All right. Heat sink for PGL35 gear stepper. That's nice. I don't know what a PGL35 is, or PG35L. Is that the... This is a PG5. That would be a... No, that's not going to work. That wraps around the gearbox. Hey, you.
I don't know that the official steppers have been released yet.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know who's going to be carrying them either. But I thought I remembered saying, or seeing, hearing, listening, however you want to phrase it, to Josh at one point or another about how he's been in contact with a stepper manufacturer or something along those lines about...
Yeah, that's LBO.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's Illustrator stuff.
Huh. These clips are actually putting enough pressure on the Bowden tube that they're causing pinch points.
Oh, well, that's not good.
No. It's actually getting really hard to push the filament through.
Okay.
So when I printed them on the big box, I did have a little bit of elephant foot syndrome. Wow. That's really not good.
Oh, boy.
Look
at the filler winder. Let's see, I guess matter hackers.
Try Pololu.
I don't know who that is yet.
Oh, really?
It may be just one more. It may be just somebody I haven't seen yet. So, give me just a second. I will see what Matter Hackers has first, and then I will go there.
Pololu's like a place where they do like robotics and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Oh my gosh, it's already 1.
Yes, it is. So what'd you say it was, Phenom? Or
Pololu?
P-O-L?
Pololu? Hold on, I can look it up.
Oh, Pololu Robotics.
Yeah.
Found it. Motors and gearboxes, wireless, switches and stuff. Batteries and ball casters.
Yeah, they have lots of good stuff. I'm surprised you hadn't heard of them before.
I have. I just couldn't. I didn't put the name to the thing. I've ordered from them before. I've got an account. Popped up as soon as I connected. Like, really? Like, oh, these guys, right?
This is my last print for tonight, and then I'm going to bed.
Okay. Did you get the
Yeah,
connection?
I got the new one. All right. So with the new Bowden tube, it looks a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about the clips. They're definitely, I think it's the extra little bit of plastic that's on the inside of them that's creating the pinch point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it when you look at it. Huh. Oh. Crap.
You're blowing on something.
Yeah, I was gonna grab the Purge, but it
Yeah.
didn't. Instead of going down, it curled up onto the nozzle, so I didn't have anything to grab. Yeah, that'll be, I think, first on the agenda tomorrow. Is designing a new bracket. Yeah, the surface is actually kind of impressive, so far, at least, because
Yeah.
sorry, Bowden tube I don't think is seated properly. Anyway, because I'd kind of bought it or I kind of acquired it on a whim,
Okay.
and I didn't really look at it that hard, and it actually has the lower grade processor.
Which one?
Oh, the M,
Oh, the surface. Yeah.
yeah, and it's a 4 with a lower end processor, and I actually opened up Fusion 360 files in it without much of an issue. I'm not
Oh.
sure. I haven't tried to design anything in it yet, but So maybe I'll try designing something tomorrow for giggles
Okay.
using the surface. If I can do something simple like that wiper bracket, I'll be pretty happy. I don't need it to change the world. It's amazing the difference the Bowden tube makes as far as how rigid it is.
Yeah.
That's looking pretty good. Okay, now. I don't know exactly what I did, but I think I've got most of the bulge gone now.
Oh, good.
Still a bit, but the print in general looks really clean all the way around. There we go. I think we might be in business here.
Okay, so that fits inside. You can jam it in there.
Yeah, it's difficult, but that's kind of what I wanted.
Okay. And so if you have two of them, you ream one of them out, right?
Yeah.
So that it slides smoothly on the shaft.
Oh yeah, see, now this is, I don't know if you can see that, but I can pull this spring and it doesn't immediately pop out of it.
Yeah, you're actually off camera.
Oh, I moved. It should be on camera now.
Hold on, let me. All right, so it doesn't immediately pop out. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was shooting for here, is something that's, and like you said, I can.
Well, and if you get the second one right, you print three more of them, and then take two of them and ream out the center so that it slides smoothly over the shaft.
Yeah.
And then you've got two that can be jammed on there.
Yep.
Jam on it.
Jam on, Lee.
Everybody jump. I need to go get it. I've got three gas cans out there, and not a single one of them has an actual screw-on cap. All the caps are missing. They've got the spouts all on them, but no caps. And it's like, all right, don't I need a cap to put on here so I can go go get them filled up, right?
As long as you have the spout, I don't know. I just kind of.
I don't have a truck. I have a minivan, so it's going to be inside the passenger with me.
I just throw it in the trunk of my car, but I also have a gas station that's like I could practically throw a rock at it from where I live.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have anything that close, so. I just wish I had an actual, a cap for it. I suppose I could print one, but everything I've got will dissolve. Although a PET G might not.
There we go.
Where'd my screen go? Okay, so you got it jammed on the post now?
Yes, I've got one that I can slide.
Oh, did you just use one of the other ones?
Yeah, I mean it's the second best one, so it pops off pretty easy still. But I just did a light sanding on the center, and it moves pretty smoothly.
That's not going anywhere. It's not going to come off. That actually looks really good as a tool shock.
Yeah, I like
Very
it.
cool. You like those?
Yep.
And you can force it down the shaft.
Yeah,
So,
I can force it down.
yeah, that would be very cool if you had something to provide a shock. Essentially it's a shock mount for putting the tool on there.
Yep.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, I'll probably cut the spring down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got quite a bit of. I don't know, I might stretch it out a little bit and cut it down so that I can depress it farther. I don't care if it's a little weaker or something like that if I stretch it. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's good for tonight. Tomorrow I'll actually make up something that'll work.
All right.
I'll put them on there, and then that'll be a thing.
Sounds like a plan. Okay. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.